Hello everyone, I welcome you all for session 3 of chapter 6 Effects of the British Rule in India. Now, before I start with today's session, in the last session I had given you a task to write down neatly the economic effects of the company rule. So I'm sure you all are doing your task completely and very sincerely because this will help you in understanding the entire session thoroughly because these are the main topics of the session. Now, in today's session, I'll be discussing something more different and interesting, that is the reforms made by Lord William Bentinck. So, we'll look into the different reforms done by William Bentinck in education field, social and judicial field, administrative reforms, etc. So, again, it's going to be very interesting. So, keep taking important notes because this will help you in understanding this session as well as it will help you in revising on later stage. So, let's get started for our today's session. Reforms made by Lord William Bentinck. So, in this particular session, we'll be looking into different reforms which were made by Lord William Bentinck. So, we'll start with administrative reforms. William Bentinck started the practice of appointing Indians in company's service. Cornwallis had stopped appointing Indians in administrative service as he had low opinion about the character, ability, and integrity of the Indian people. So he sought to reserve all higher posts for the Europeans. So William Bentinck for the first time started to appoint the Indians for the company administration. So this was something which was very new, and he gave opportunity to Indians to make sure that their ability also can be utilized in company administration. So that was for the first time started by William Bentinck. Judicial reforms. So now we'll look into the judicial reforms which were made by William Bentinck. William Bentinck ordered the use of vernacular languages in place of Persian in the court of law. In higher courts, Persian was replaced by English as the court language. He established different grades of courts to avoid delay in justice. He also established a Supreme Court in Agra. So William Bentinck gave the permission to use the vernacular languages because the Indians were not comfortable with the other languages. So that was not allowing them to get appropriate justice. Apart from that, if you see, William Bentinck also started different grades of courts so that the justice can be done very fast and the other problems like delay in justice can be avoided. Apart from that, he also established a Supreme Court in Agra. Social reforms. So here we'll look into the social reforms which were made by William Bentinck. William Bentinck is famous for his social reforms in India. By the abolition of the system of sati and human sacrifice, he freed the society from two of the worst superstitions. So William Bentinck was the first one to start abolishing sati as well as various other social evils that were practiced in India. So he is known for his phenomenal work in helping some of the social reformers to stop these evil customs in India. So now we'll look into educational reforms. The company had passed a resolution to spend 1 lakh rupees every year on education. So William Bentinck decided to spend 1 lakh rupees every year for the upgradation of education. An education committee was formed by William Bentinck. So an education committee was basically started in order to bring a lot many changes in the educational field. So for that a committee was set up. In 1834, Lord Macaulay recommended to start English education in India. So Lord Macaulay was sent to India in order to bring some reformation in the educational field. So he brought a plan in order to bring changes in education. So he was the one who decided to start English education in India. William Bentinck gave full support to his proposal. So when he presented his idea of starting English education, William Bentinck gave full support to his proposal, and that's how English education started in India. Now, apart from the reforms which we saw, which were made by Lord William Bentinck, He has also made various other small reforms which we'll be looking into. So, various other reforms made by William Bentinck. Modern methods of post and telegraph was introduced in India. So, modern methods of post and telegraph was started by Lord William Bentinck. Printing press was also started by Lord William Bentinck. So, printing press was something new for India, but in order to carry on the administration as well as for various other purposes, William Bentinck felt the need to start printing press, and that also helped Indians in many ways. Many machines were invented to facilitate the industries, transport, etc. So the changes which were made by William Bentinck also helped the Indians in disguise. So that was something very interesting to see that the freedom movements as well as the nationalist feelings, I think to increase the nationalist feeling, all these changes and reforms made by William Bentinck was very useful. So all in all, William Bentinck was a very good Governor General as well as a great reformer for India. Now coming towards the end of the session, the task for home is to explain in detail the reforms made by William Bentinck. So you will write down this answer very neatly in a book and also revise it completely because it is one of the important part of the chapter. So as in when you keep on practicing such answers, it will help you in understanding the chapter thoroughly. So for our next session, I'll be starting the fresh chapter, that is lesson number 7, environmental changes. So I want all of you to be handy with some information related to this chapter. So we'll basically look into global warming, greenhouse gases, then we'll also look into the harmful effects of global warming, preventive measures. So this chapter is very relevant and very practical because we all are aware of it. So if you be more handy with the information, you can enjoy this session more better. So be ready for our next session.